Effective siting and planning for a transfer station is very important. There are various factors that go into siting and building a transfer station, which are important in your integrated solid waste management planning. One is location. You must ensure that the transfer station is located in an area that has good access to roads. Be aware of the jurisdictional authority on which the transfer station is sited. Fee or trust land has different issues. Number two is transportation costs. The proximity of a transfer station to your community and to the landfill will have significant effect on the efficiency of your solid waste program. There are some tribes that cannot locate their transfer station in areas close enough to a landfill or their communities, so the gas costs of transportation make a landfill more economically feasible than a transfer station. Number three is the size of your transfer station. You will want to ensure that the transfer station meets current and future needs for waste disposal. These can be determined through your waste stream characterization and other elements of your integrated solid waste management plan. Number four is infrastructure needs. The needs of your community are a huge factor in the design of your transfer station. A standard transfer station is a loading and unloading area to bring small loads of trash together to load into one larger truck which goes to the landfill. However, there may be value in having a larger transfer station with room to allow for trash collection, a recycling convenience center, bulk good drop-offs, and/or various other options that are utilized by tribes building transfer stations. Most of these factors and decisions can be made by relying on a well-crafted integrated solid waste management plan. Staffing is number five. Transfer stations will require staff. Depending on whether your station is open to the public, has a recycling or convenience center component, will determine what your staffing needs are. Likewise, if you do not have a fully staffed transfer station, you will need to ensure that there is security to ensure your transfer station does not become an open dump and that there are no safety issues that are not properly addressed. The Tule River Indian Tribe of California has a good example of a transfer station that was built with good planning. They built their transfer station utilizing an integrated solid waste management plan to address issues of open dumping on tribal trust lands and develop an effective transfer station. You will see a before picture of an open dump before it was cleaned. There is a variety of trash, it's an eyesore, and it has significant environmental problems for the tribe. After the tribe cleaned it up, you can see that a fence was installed to prevent continued dumping. Their transfer station was designed with specific intent of providing an alternative to this type of dumping. It was designed as a transfer station / convenience center. You can see here, which often happens, is that people can go up to a dump or ravine or something similar and dump trash over the side. In this picture of the Tule River transfer station, on the left-hand corner you can see a parking spot for people to back up and drop their trash into bins. This type of convenience is similar to what people are accustomed to from the open dump ravine. On the right are locations to drop off tires and recycling. This is the other side of where the tipping bins are. Here are the white goods waiting for processing and recycling. When you have white goods, it is very important that you have someone on staff qualified to remove Freon or have a process to have that removed before the items are pulled apart for scrap metal. Most metal recycling locations can handle the Freon removal, but you'll get less money for the metal because of the extra cost of removal. In times when metal scrap is at a premium, there is less dumping of metal goods. However, there is a higher risk that people are taking the scrap or not properly removing the Freon. So community education on this issue is also very important. You can address this by removing Freon at a low cost or no cost so community members can scrap metal themselves without environmental damage. In addition to having a convenience center in your transfer station, this transfer station is also being used as a recycling drop-off center. Here you can see designated areas for tire recycling or removal. There are very few areas where tires are effectively and efficiently recycled. In the southeast mostly, there are some companies that use tires for their furnaces. However, in most cases, the best option is to get a low-cost vendor to take the tires in, or some cases the neighboring state jurisdiction has a tire buyback program, or reduced cost for taking tires. This transfer station also has areas for recycling of glass, plastic, and aluminum. Depending on how your program intends to process the recycling or the options you may have just one bin for all recyclables, or you can have a separate bin for each of the recyclable, using a center self-storage of recyclables as you can see here. What you do will depend greatly on the recycling market in your area. If you have a transfer station or are building one, it is smart to set aside an area where this type of self-sorting recyclable drop-off is handled. Even if you can't afford the bins or your program is not recycling currently, it is wise to have an area set aside as your program grows. Eventually, recycling may be something your program will need to reduce the overall tipping fees at landfills. Here is a picture of the Eastern Band of Cherokee's transfer station. They have one large area where their trash trucks dump their loads, and they have a heavy machinery to push the trash into the loading area in the back of a larger truck to transport the trash off reservation. Here in this picture, you see the bottom of the building where the cat was pushing trash into the larger bin. This truck is the truck that is used to transport the waste from the landfill. In this community, and in most tribal communities, a transfer station is the most effective means of transporting waste off reservation. The reasons for this is one, most tribes do not have the capacity for a landfill on site to make it economical. You would need over 100 tons a day of trash to make a landfill cost effective. Number two, there are many traditional and cultural values which may make a tribal landfill unrealistic. For this reason, transfer stations are a popular and cost-effective way of handling waste disposal for many tribes. The benefits of transfer stations include overall gas costs, wear and tear on vehicles, and staff time for transportation. You have one driver versus multiple drivers. Likewise, most tribal roads cannot handle a large dump truck going over their roads from door-to-door pickup. A transfer station allows for smaller trucks to pick up the trash or for people to drop off their trash and have it collected and transported in one larger truck. Likewise, transfer stations can and should be located on properly maintained roads so that they can handle the larger weight of trucks. Road conditions and transportation feasibility is another item that is overlooked in transfer station siting.